Welcome back to the Telosive EV podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, we're doing this super late at night, so no Randy today, but we miss you,
Yeah, we're
Randy.
missing a wheel right now. This Aptera is now what do they call it? The
Also,
also bike. Yeah, our minds
we've
are so in
become an
sync,
e-bike.
even though that we are not in the same room again.
We both have T's on our shirts and pods in our
Well,
ears.
I have a T on my head as well. That matches the T on your shirt.
Mike, the most branded man alive. So many brands
Mike,
to
the guy
represent.
who likes the letter T. He drives a T car. He wears a T shirt. Okay.
Oh,
How are
I
you,
get it.
Drew?
I get it. I'm doing well. Thanks you for asking. It's been a busy week, but all good
Tell
things.
me about it. Tell me about it.
Genuinely?
Seriously, tell me about it. What's
Oh,
going on?
okay. Trying to think what I can say. I guess it's not any secret sauce or anything, but basically, uh, my role at Tello has expanded from not just doing marketing stuff, but now I'm actually building um, a contraption that's like a interior design buck, basically. Uh,
Cool.
that it's not difficult to put together. It's just very well, I mean, I think it's difficult, but to an engineer, I'm sure it's trivial. But all the engineers at the company are very busy working on actual production stuff that requires
Mhm.
specialty software and there's crash testing kind of stuff going on. So they're all busy, but this design buck, which you put all kinds of different sized like pieces of foam on so you can fine tune the position of the steering column and the position of the seats and
Mhm.
the upward visibility
Ergonomics and
angle.
everything.
Yeah, you fine tune all that and then you scan it with these high fidelity like lidar things so that when you load it into the CAD files, everything lines up properly.
Mhm.
But they basically were like, well, we need to build that thing, but we're all busy with other projects. Why doesn't Drew do it? And they kind of said it as a joke. And I was like, I'll do it. I'll try. Like, I've never built anything like that before, but I'm willing. And I was like, it'd be cool to work on something that's not marketing related, like build something that
Mhm.
actually impacts the production stuff. Because you're basically building like the rough template that all future trucks will be aligned with. So I was like, okay, I'll do that.
That's
For the
pretty cool and
past week,
inspiring.
I've been putting that together, and there's no instructions, and
No,
even the CAD
all
file
intuition.
is incomplete. So there's a lot of things that are like, well, just imagine what should be there and figure it out. So
It's a good thing you don't have aphantasia where you can't imagine things in your brain, or else
yeah,
you'd
there's
be
a bunch of
really up the river without a paddle, or down the river without a
yeah,
paddle. You're going down some rapids.
right. So I keep joking after this, the engineers will need to edit a video just to make it fair. But
Have
I
each
don't
one
think
edit
that's
a
going to
video
happen.
just to stick it to each person.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I've actually enjoyed it quite a bit just for the change of pace, but
Mhm.
it makes time move a lot faster. You're just like, oh my God, the day's over. That was like, I thought I just
Nice.
started. So that's what's
That's
keeping me
exciting
busy.
stuff. Definitely something to
Yeah.
put on the resume once you're done with Tello, because
Oh yeah.
we
I've never
assume
made a
that it will
resume.
end at some point, right? You've never had a resume?
Never. I've never submitted one. I've never made one. It's just never come up.
Well,
Never
you have
needed
some
one.
experience now.
Yeah, I should make a
Hands-on, I
resume.
should say. You've had experience for the last, let's just call it 15 years or whatever at this point,
A
whenever you
little bit.
started.
Little bit, but how are you? How's your week been?
Good. I'm not building an EV, which is great.
You're doing something worse. You're fixing an EV.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, getting back onto this wonderful venture that is my early VIN, low VIN,
Very
whatever I was going to
early.
say. Very early Model Y and its wonderful issues. I think I mentioned on the last podcast, but just to catch people up, uh, I went to get, or oh goodness. So my windshield had a big crack in it from a truck that scooped up a big pebble on the road and put it into it. So I went to go
Mhm.
get that fixed. In the process of them fixing it, they roughed up my steering wheel to where there's now a big rip in it, which is
Oh,
a bummer.
right, right.
Uh, they also left a bunch of plastic all over the dashboard and everything. They left the car pretty bad, in my opinion. And I let
Mhm.
them know that in the app, and they didn't say anything about it besides, "That's
Of
weird."
course.
Uh, and then, with the referral credits to you wonderful listeners and viewers of Drew, I got winter tires because they're gonna expire, these credits, and I can't get any free supercharging or anything else with them, so I thought, well, winter tires sound like a good idea, even though that we live in the Bay Area where rain is a big deal. Uh,
Yep.
but people in California don't know how to drive in the first place. So at least having a little bit more traction to get out of the way of those that don't know how to drive is nice to have.
Yes.
So we took the Y in to get those new 19-inch rims. So I run on 20s, the 19-inch rims with winter tires. I went to go put those on or have them put on, and took 4 hours for them just to put into the back of the car, which is hilarious and laughable. They then
Okay.
had it for the rest of the day and finally put the rims back on. And when you and I went to go check out the or pick up the car
Yeah.
because you were free that day, uh,
Mhm.
was it the back right rim had a nice big dent? Well, a nice big dent is maybe too harsh to say, but there is a noticeable dip in the rim, so it's no longer circular. It looks like someone kind of pushed a crowbar into it or something like that
Mhm. Yep.
to get the tire onto it. And so I made that known immediately, and they said they'd work with me to figure out a time for an appointment. And instead, they didn't work with me; they just scheduled it on their own. Uh, So they
Sounds like
scheduled
them.
it for Monday at 8:30 AM, and I thought, "Okay,
Mhm.
well, probably no one else is taking their car on a Monday at 8:30 AM," so I kept it and didn't dispute it because I thought, "Well, I can fit this into my work schedule."
Mm.
Got there at 8:35 since traffic was a little bit crazy getting there,
Mhm.
and it was 2 very long lines to get into the service center, to get your
Uh-oh.
car serviced. And so after about 15 minutes of waiting in the car, I finally got to the point where someone would approach me and help me out. No one approached me for about another 15 minutes or 10 minutes.
See.
And so I
Okay.
sat there waiting
Here we go.
impatiently, but of course just waited there. Finally, someone came out that it was a face that I recognized from the last time I was there. He says, "Oh, hey, I remember you." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I think we're here for a rim, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, the back right." And so he went and looked, and he said, I don't see anything wrong with it."
Oh, boy.
So I brought out the picture that I took that day when you and I were there. And thanks again for spotting it. Because
I regret spotting
sh-
it now. I think I'm wasting
I,
more than time. I wish I would have
well,
said nothing.
there is a happy ending to this story.
Ooh,
So
okay. Good,
I
good.
showed him the photo of, hey, you can see the
You're like, "I
dent
sold
there.
my
And he said,
car.
yes,
It's gone." That's the happy
I
ending.
don't own a Tesla anymore.
I
Thank
got rid
goodness.
of it. I drove it off a cliff. Uh,
Please. Someone drove a Model 3 off a cliff recently and posted it on YouTube or Instagram or wherever,
oh, yeah, I
and
saw
it
the
went
airbag.
upside down and landed, and I thought, if you want the battery to explode, that's, like, the worst way for the battery to explode because you let the roof of the car well, I guess they can't control the spin and whatever of the car too
The
much,
roof
but
became the crumple zone for the
yes,
battery.
and the battery was fine from what I could tell from the video because the roof
Oh,
began to
good.
crumple. Anyways,
Beautiful.
um did do that at the Y, but, got out the picture, showed it to him, he noticed the dent, and then we located it based off of where the dent was in relation to the, uh where you feed in air into the tire.
Mhm.
And so, found it, he felt it as well, he's like, "Okay, yeah, we'll get this replaced." And then I said, "Well, also, the steering wheel needs to get replaced and or fixed by you guys because you kinda got pretty scratched up or torn, 2
Right.
visits ago when we got the windshield done."
Yeah.
And I explained the whole thing. He's like, "Well, I'll talk with my manager about it." I'm like, "Oh, the manager knows about it." Because me and the manager had a long talk about it last time I was there.
You're gonna remember me.
Yeah. And so, I wasn't like that. I wasn't being a male Karen, but I was being very abrasive of like, "This is kinda getting ridiculous at this point."
Yes.
And so I said, "Okay, it should be done in about an hour or 2." And based off
So
of
6 hours later.
yeah, exactly. So I said, well, I voiced this to him. I said, well, last time you gave me an estimate, it doubled. So I'm not going to wait here for 2 hours to be late for work. I need to get to
Mhm.
work. Do you guys have a loaner car or am I going to get an Uber? And they said, we can give you a loaner car. They gave me a Model Y.
Oh, what year?
So what? I couldn't tell, but it had the metal scroll wheels, and I think it was 98,000 and something in the VIN. Um,
But I
I could
mean,
put the
like,
VIN.
was it like an older Y? It's not the refresh, I'm guessing.
No, 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 no. So it
Oh,
was. I think it
okay.
was indeed because the way I can tell my Y is new is because the VIN first has a bunch of the gobbledygook at the beginning, but at the end it's a bunch of digits, and the digits
Yeah,
are pretty much 00000 1, and then the other two numbers in there at the end, and that's how I can tell this is my Model Y.
that's
Where with
interesting. I
this
check by the
one,
features, like
mhm,
updated center console, 21. If the cameras show up immediately when I'm using my blinker,
uh,
it's a 22.
gotcha.
If it's got the red, cameras on the outside, then it's a 23 or
No,
later.
this was an early Model Y then because it had the piano black center console and
Oh,
everything
okay. Then
else
yeah,
was
that's a
very similar
2020 then.
besides the scroll wheels being metal. And so that's
Mm,
where I thought, okay, it was right before the interior refresh where they got
yes,
changed the interior to that grayish matte um,
right.
texture. Uh, so wasn't really too impressive or interesting. Of course, it's just another version of my car. The fun thing
Mhm.
was though, it took forever to get my phone connected to it, or they had to find a key card, which took them forever. So by the time I got out of there, it was about an hour of me waiting. Um, so
Gee.
that was just getting my car checked in and then getting a
Mhm.
loaner. Um, but then once the profile finally synced between my phone and the car, the seat started crushing me like a trash compactor, pretty much. And
Oh, no.
it's like these are your settings. I'm like, these are not my settings. And so I thought, okay, well, the last loaner I had was the Model S that you and I talked about last time,
Oh,
and Randy as
yeah.
well. And
That
so
was
I thought,
fun.
okay, well, maybe some of the settings just didn't copy over the cloud correctly from that Model S, and that's what's taking from instead of my Model Y. I didn't know. That's my justification at the beginning of it. So, anyways, readjusted it, saved all the settings, went to work, had a short work day because they said 30 minutes, like pretty much right when I got to work, or a couple minutes after I got to work, car is ready to be picked up, uh, which I thought was hilarious. So then I messaged saying, so what'd you guys do to the rim? Like, what was the fix?
Mhm.
And they said we replaced the rim. And so then my next thought was, did they replace the tire around the rim with a different
Oh.
tire? Was it a summer
Oh,
tire that they
no.
put on there? Or
They
kind
would
of like
do
what you
that
had,
too.
where you had, yeah, different ones. So I thought about that as well.
That's a very
Um,
Tesla move.
so I left that up to when I get there because, of course, I'm going to ask them, like, oh, no, we put on the same tire that you had or whatever. And who knows what they did actually in the shop.
Mhm.
Uh, And then the second question I asked was for the steering wheel, and they said, "Well, we'll talk with our manager about it, and we'll let him know." And I said, "I'll talk with him when I'm
Yes.
there because if you're going to talk with him and he's going to give you a non-answer, I'm going to talk with him then and at least hear a non-answer from him myself." So got done with the workday, drove back. Also, when I got out of the Y to get into work, it then reassumed the crunching position uh, as I was getting out of the car. So I had to quickly
You're, like,
jump out
honking the
before it crushed
horn.
me.
"Oh, stop."
Yeah. So then once I got to the service center, uh, it then was starting to do the same thing of crunching me down. I'm like, this is so strange and weird, whatever. Um, got out, returned the key card, talked with the service people. We walked out to the car with the manager, looked at the rim. The rim looks great. There's no
Good.
divots or bumps or anything with it. It's dirty, but everything that I found recently, if you get anything from Tesla service,
But
at
which
least at the one that
tire?
I go to, back right, they replaced the correct one. They only replaced one.
But, I mean, it's still
The
winter
tire.
tire, right?
So yeah, that's the next thing I checked is I looked at the front right and the back right just to check between the two because they're not staggered tires, thankfully, on the Model Y
No.
when you get the winter tires
Thank
for
goodness.
a long range all wheel drive, with 19s or 20-inch tires.
Mhm.
So I looked between the two, and they had the same markings on the side. They're Pirelli Winter
Good, good.
so whatever's, um,
Wow, they got that right.
233-45 or whatever they are. Um, so everything looked good in that department. And then I talked to the
Mhm.
manager about the steering wheel. He said, "It's out of my hands. I can't do anything." So I then told him, "Well, we need to do something because this is unacceptable for you guys to rough up my steering wheel." He's like, "Okay, well, here, I can email my higher ups and include them on that email, and then you can tell your story on what you think happened," which was a little bit
Oh, what do
like,
you think happened?
yeah. And after he said that, I'm
Oh
like,
my
I
gosh.
understand, like, there's my perspective versus your perspective. You don't know. I could be. I'm not trying to swindle you right now, but like, I'm sure you get some of that. He's like, "No, no, no, I believe you." I'm like, then why would you
It
phrase it
doesn't
that
sound
way?
like yeah.
So, anyways, apparently I'm supposed to be included on an email with two Tesla managers, one from the service center and then his higher up or wherever.
And then
And
Elon Musk.
God,
We're going straight to the top on this one.
maybe so. So that's where it ended today. Oh, and then this is the fun part. I then looked inside the car. Everything was fine. They didn't leave any plastic bits everywhere or plastic on the seat, or they
Uh-huh.
didn't scratch anything up. As far as I could tell, it was slightly dirty. I didn't clean the car before I got there, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So I got in, and it's I pressed on the brake and was expecting, oh, it's going to get in my
Crunchy.
driver profile, right? It did the opposite.
Oh,
It
no.
then started
It's reset all
splaying
your
out to then lay down, which I was really confused by then because I'm like, how come my settings are now not right? And what I realized, or at least the only thing that makes sense to me, is something in that loaner Model Y was flipped compared to my Model Y with like the motors or the logic or whatever on how to move the seat,
It
which
just
actually makes
tells it,
sense
like,
why.
move the backrest this much.
Yes, but because it's maybe flipped, what thought is okay, we need to move this much, but because it's flipped, it'll start crunching forward and then it gets to the limit and just stops because it can't go forward anymore because it's trying to reach an angle that it thinks it's trying to meet, but it's actually going the opposite way for X or Y reason.
Mm.
Um, and so then when I adjusted and saved it in the loaner Model Y and then got into mine, they're flipped as far as I can tell, the logic of how I understand this system. So
Yeah.
then
It sounds
it
flipped.
went all the way backward to try to get to that angle that I defined in the loaner Model Y. So I had to reset my seat at the end of the day. Thing things to learn when you take your vehicle to a Tesla service center and then get a loaner Tesla and think that you're readjusting things. Just readjust, but don't save. Is what I learned
I
from that
see.
experience.
Well, I'm
So
sorry.
yeah,
I'm so sorry this happened to you. I'm sorry they don't believe you and are gaslighting you. I'm also sorry for promoting your referral code. I feel partially responsible for all this because if you didn't have those credits, you probably could have saved a lot of time.
saved a lot of time, but I wouldn't have winter tires, which actually my wife was saying a couple days ago when we had a storm roll through. She was very appreciative of the winter tires because she actually felt a lot more safe on the road, even though
Really? Okay.
how much difference are they making? I would say a decent amount because the tread does look a lot different. And from a video that I watched from Engineering Explained a while back, he was
Oh,
showing with
yeah,
his
I
Model
remember that one.
3 different
Yeah.
tire types and all that, and braking distance and everything. It does make a difference. So even so, with that, I'm still appreciative of you, the listeners slash watchers, and all that for the opportunity to try out winter tires because I'm kind of like you. I would just stay with all season and just play it safe in the winter and
No,
not
I
go
do
too
winter
crazy with
on the
acceleration
front
and all
and
that.
summer on the back.
Yeah.
That way you're safe no matter what happens. At least that's what
That's gonna
Tesla
be.
did.
I can't wait to see what I would honestly tell whenever you go to the service center to get those tires changed out. I would
I'm not going
request
back there.
to report not there, but I would request like what is the wear pattern slash wear depth compared to all these four tires on this vehicle because that
I'm
would be a
I'm
very interesting
planning
case study.
see, we have very different approaches to, both of us sharing the experience of Tesla service screwing up and disappointing us in some way, and
Mhm.
you're like, "I'm going back there, and I'm gonna set the story straight, and they're gonna
They ruined
fix
my
the
steering wheel,
problem."
so I have to go back there. I'm not gonna go to America's Tire and say, "Fix my steering wheel."
No, I think, I give up a lot faster on people or, like,
Oh.
service center. So my approach would be like steering wheel cover. Good it's I don't see it
Mhm,
anymore, it's gone. Like, problem solved, or electrical
mhm.
tape or something, like, not trying to be
Like a hockey stick,
Yeah, I'm
but
like,
not electrical
"Dude,
tape because that's masking tape.
this is like a filthy, dirty car now. I'm not trying to win anybody's, impressions," but my approach is like, Dan from What's Inside. I'm just gonna drive the car until all the wheels are bald, and
Mhm.
then be like, "Yeah, it probably needs a new set," but I'm not going to Tesla for these anymore because I don't trust them. And I'm like, going to the service center, I'm just going to waste time and probably not get what I was looking for, and they'll probably break something else in the process. So I'd rather just not deal with it. I'm,
Well,
what do you
I
call it?
to take a page out of your book, whatever is the most cost effective and efficient means to get something done, which is when I get winter tires from the Tesla app, thanks to very gracious people in my life, I kinda have to go through Tesla. I can't just say, "Hey, could you actually send those tires over to, like, the America's Tire or whoever else and have them do
Well,
it?"
that's the problem. Is the referral program throws off our financial incentives. Like it made going through Tesla way more cost effective, but without the referrals,
Mhm.
there wouldn't be that advantage. So, and I
No.
feel like with my time slimming down as Tello gets more busy, I'm probably not going to refer as much as I have in the past in the next year or so.
Mhm.
That will create hopefully the next equalizer of just going back to using services that are good and the right price.
Right. Yeah, thankfully for this visit, it
Hopefully.
didn't cost me anything because they were fixing something on their side of things, which was they gave me a bad rim, and which held, air pretty great. Didn't have a problem with it, but I didn't
Well,
wanna
that's
go the
good.
same approach as you, which is having a dinged rim and then just accepting it because 'cause I'm not gonna accept bad quality. That's been my whole shtick with Tesla recently is like, "Hey, I know that you guys aren't the best at quality control, but this is unacceptable, and I'm not gonna let it go like many others have."
That's fair. That's good for you. That's the
It's gonna be
people
a
like
lot of
you.
wasted time and energy, but
Yeah, that's kinda where I'm at. It's like, my time would be more valuable than the circularness of the rim. It's like, I would rather just have my time back, but no, I
right.
get it. It's probably good to keep them in check and make sure that they don't, get away with it, because I probably did let them get away with it because I just didn't have any other choice. It wasn't
Mhm.
really time in my scenario with the tires, but yeah, what are you gonna do? It's I feel like there's a good chance it's an industry-wide issue, because at least if you go on Reddit, which I do, it feels like Rivian people are complaining a lot about
Yeah,
service waits, um, or
they're a
the
new
prices
company.
being out of whack. And well, I also think even regardless of company size, I think like I get the impression that there's fewer people going into car service jobs, and it's
Mhm,
probably hard to hire. So that means you just hire everybody you can. If there's not many options for them when they're hiring service people, so they have to kind of say yes to anyone who applies, which means
mhm.
anyone who applies might not be super qualified, but it's better than nothing. So that could affect any automaker.
Yeah,
We're Tesla owners
Tesla could
now,
just
but
put Optimuses in there. It'll be fine.
right.
They'll be putting toaster ovens in your car.
It's so comical, like the disconnect for me. I don't know. The disconnect between what they're claiming Optimus will do and what I see him do. I've never seen a wider gap in my life.
I don't think I've seen Optimus do anything, or at least I can't trust I've seen him do anything because every single time it's like, "Oh, he's scooping popcorn." he wasn't scooping popcorn. I mean, the robot was, but he was being controlled by someone over in Palo Alto at the time.
Well, even that is, like, not very good at it. It's, like, very slow and very, like and they're like, "This robot will do precise surgeries and make all healthcare affordable in the future," and then I'm watching him, like, slowly walk to the kitchen and his head is wobbling the whole time. I'm like, "Yeah, that's gonna do great surgeries. I can't wait." I don't know. I don't have the imagination that they do. I could be proven wrong, but
I would say
oh
me and
well.
my wife are still eager for some type of humanoid or at least robot that can do things that makes our life a little bit nicer, like dishes or laundry. Those would be great tasks for them to do. There's a couple of robot companies that have demonstrated, hey, our robot can do it. And of course, don't know if the robot's doing it, if it's CGI or if
Or at
someone's
what
controlling
price?
it.
It's like
Yeah, that as
it's
well.
very good at
Or
that,
if
and
it's a
it costs
subscription either.
$2,000,000. The amount of
Yeah.
money going into doing laundry is also quite
Right, or here's the
hilarious to
other
me.
concern is just having a robot in your house that has cameras all over it for its
Oh,
own
yeah.
reasons, but also for the
For
company's
training.
reasons to yeah.
It's encrypted, it's anonymous, we promise.
Yeah, what I would love is the company to see me in my boxers walking around when that
I
information was
mean,
supposed to stay in the house, not go towards their mothership dojo computer that doesn't exist anymore.
in all privacy sense, by the way, we still have cameras in our houses that can see everything, just
Oh,
so
yeah.
everyone's aware. It's your
Sure,
phone.
but Ye yes, but I don't have it well, maybe I do.
Your phone
Uh,
sees everything.
at least you can control the phone or the robot. I guess you can control the robot, but no.
Hopefully, you can control the robot, but yeah, it's the phone can't, like, wake up and murder you one day as easily. It's a lot harder.
Uh, fires are a thing with phones. You see Jerry
Yeah,
rig everything, break the, wasn't this is more tech related, but the was it the Pixel
but you
Fold or
can't,
whatever,
like,
the one that
it's
you
very
have?
difficult to, like, get a virus on your phone that lights it on fire, like, that's pretty difficult to do.
You
I
watch me
haven't heard of
try.
that. Yeah,
Gonna visit
I
all
guess
the illegal sites and then let all the hackers on my phone and then taunt them, stare at the camera every single day saying, "I bet you can't light my phone on fire."
I know, we need to change
Please
topics.
don't light my
I
phone
don't
on
wanna
fire, by the way.
encourage them. I don't want to encourage this. Someone's gonna try to
Speaking of
get me to download.
fires that didn't consume, uh, these vehicles speaking of dumpster fires, how about that? There we go. Dumpster fires of
Yeah,
situations. We
mhm,
haven't talked about it on the podcast, which I feel like maybe the news broke a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I
yeah.
forget. Um, maybe we did talk about it. I don't recall, but an EV1 came up for sale,
Yes, yes, I saw.
specifically serial number 212 from GM, and it went on an
Wow.
auction site. I forget the auction site. If you're interested, go watch Questionable Garage or Electric Garage. Uh, they cover they it's a group of people now that are working on this EV1 because of the opportunity that they have, which is owning an EV1, which hasn't been a thing. There's been
Mhm,
leasing an EV1, there's been donating an EV1, but it could be taken back at any time. And this is the one that
mhm,
slipped through the cracks only because everyone at the university forgot about it and it got
mhm,
towed. And then a notice went out to GM, or I guess a bunch of different websites, and GM had all of like 30 days or something like that to respond. And they didn't claim it, even though it was evident that there was an EV1 that was under their ownership.
Can
They
you
were going to
imagine
claim it.
if they took it and crushed it after all these years?
That'd be very depressing. But they didn't claim it, thankfully, and which now puts us into this wonderful reality, which is it went up for auction because they were following due process. The police did their job. The auction or the tow service did their job. Everyone did their job. The only one who didn't do their job is GM, and then the university forgot that they owned it because the professors who were associated are long gone, I guess. Um,
Yeah,
so now it's in the hands of some guy named Billy somewhere, uh, undisclosed location, of course, because they want to protect this thing from everyone and everything because this is a once in a
really?
lifetime opportunity.
It's not
Yeah, they
disclosed,
don't
huh?
They haven't disclosed where the EV1 is being stored right now. They've shown
Interesting.
videos of everyone working on it. They've showed a little bit outside, but otherwise, it's in this shed somewhere, and they've got everyone that you would think who would love these carb era EVs helping out, like Jared from
That's
Questionable
awesome.
Garage, or Declan from Electric Garage, or even Robert, in
So
which you and
that's
I
my
got to
close
meet.
connection.
Mhm.
Is Declan in Electric Garage's video, he's wearing the same shirt as me, because Declan's a engineer at Tillo. So
Oh, really?
I was really excited to see his video and how he's working on it and stuff. Because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, he's awesome. I've worked with him for a while." Um, so that was
Is he in
cool to
office
have.
or is he work remote?
He's remote currently, but he's
I
about to
wonder
be
why.
he's about to be in office. I don't know if
Oh,
I'm
okay.
supposed to say that, but he's transitioning to full in office
Well,
soon. But
that does connect a few dots as well because he said, "I'm not gonna be here for a lot of this," but he
mhm,
is, as he said in the video, a EV battery expert, or at least he knows a lot about them. And
he
so
does.
having
He's
him
been
on this project of restoring this
huge.
EV1 is a really great opportunity for everyone because he can help
Yeah.
out. Robert from Aging Wheels has a great track record of taking things and putting them back together and piecing things back together, trying to find ways that are very, I don't wanna say redneck, but very inspired and creative paths towards a solution that I wouldn't have thought of and are perfectly valid solutions. Um,
I've seen
I think they have a
Robert's
really good
neck.
team.
Robert's neck
Mhm.
is red, so I'm just throwing that out there.
I think in that was it in the Electric Garage video, he was riding around on a Segway the whole entire time. I'm following it just like everyone else because I'm interested in this thing. As an engineer, it's a very cool thing to see, which is something very similar to what we've seen in the S10 as far as I can tell. Just very unique and custom fiberglass and other parts surrounding it that
Mhm.
need very special attention in this restoration with the windshield being caved in by something that fell from the roof or whatever, or no, someone bashing it with a brick or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, and then also the back trunk keyhole just being pushed in. You have to use a screwdriver to get in right now. Um, it's really cool stuff, and I'm very interested in how they go forward with it with an ambitious goal of getting it ready by, I think, was it November 16th of 2026 or somewhere around that time because
Oh,
that's
wow.
the anniversary or the 30th anniversary of the first EV1 being sold or coming out. So it's
It's
a
rare.
really
I
cool
think that's
project.
what makes it so unique and special is knowing, like, how few of these there are left, especially working. So,
None. None of them. The one that they
yeah, that's
have
true,
had the
none.
battery taken out, in which the battery that was in there, I believe, was lead acid.
Yep.
And the previous owner, I believe, who had it, from what the Electric Garage, I think, was saying, or maybe it was Jared from Questionable Garage. Electric, yeah, they're both garages. That's
All
hilarious.
these
Um,
garages coming together. Yeah.
into a yeah, but one of them said that the previous owner for SN212 or something similar to it had lead acid batteries, and I think he lived somewhere in the northern states, or which is kind of weird because I believe GM only sold it to the southern western states because the lead acid batteries only got like 60 to 80 miles of range on a good day. So when those go kaput, you need to replace the whole battery
Yep.
because lead acid is famously not a good idea, as evident from early EVs and you having
And
to clean
hybrids.
off everything, and hybrids as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, you had to swap
So
out the whole
I
thing.
yeah, I believe they're gonna be replacing it with a modern LFP battery pack, which is gonna be really
Good,
cool. And then,
good.
they're not gonna replace, as far as I can tell, they wanna keep it as close to stock as possible or try to retain all the stock parts as best they can. So, of course, I think the charging, wiring and all that got cut up by GM back in the day, so they have to put a new one in, but thankfully they have a bunch of old S10, electrics from the same year that they can utilize. So pretty much
Okay.
they're Frankensteining a whole bunch of Chevy S10 pickups that were EVs into this thing because they shared a lot of components. And so
Yeah.
hardware-wise, I think they're pretty much set besides custom glass and all that, and fiberglass. A lot of
Mhm.
glass in it. But for metal components, also that as well. But the programming side of things is gonna be the very interesting part of it because that's like early or mid to late 90s programming, and assuming
Oh,
that
yeah.
things do talk together correctly between S10 and original EV1 components, it shouldn't be too bad of a problem. But I guess we'll see as this journey progresses. But I'm loving that they're not letting one channel take full ownership of the progress that they're making.
That is
Is that
cool.
they
That is
they
very
started
cool.
with questionable garages video, then they went to electric garages video. Um, who knows if Aging Wheels is going to get one out of it or anyone else in the process? But I'm excited to see where this goes, just because this is
Yeah.
a once in a lifetime opportunity, and it's something that you just don't see anymore. You see them, I
No.
guess, rotting in parking garages, but that's about it.
Yeah. That's about all you see. Yeah, it's true. It's like a big community effort coming together, collaborating. I'm excited. I'm gonna be following it very closely, so and I can't wait to talk to Declan about it soon.
I would like to talk with him about it as well. I'll
Yeah, yeah.
nonchalantly
Arrange that.
swing and be like, "Hey, by the way, I heard you're working on something really cool." Um, which is gonna be really tough for him because he's pretty much working at 2 startup companies at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
2
He's got
very ground up situations of how do we build this thing?
that's why we were super honored to have him because I know how, like, sought after Declan is. Like,
Oh,
he's had
wow.
I won't say from who, but he's had job offers from many, different places, both automotive and non-automotive, and the fact that he wants to be with Tello is, like, you know, makes me feel like it's special, like,
It is
got
special.
something got something unique. So,
I think,
great to have met him.
yeah, uh, of course,
We
since I'm
checked out
talking
the
about all these
slate
other.
together. That's something
Oh,
else we
nice.
did.
I'm
So
sure he
I
has a lot of
saw
questions.
yeah, we were both
What do you
poking
got
around it.
underneath there?
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
And usually
We
they don't
brought
say anything because they're like, "Oh,
yeah.
it's a skateboard chassis."
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
we know that.
the slate guys were really nice. They were pretty upfront about what was prototypey and what was gonna change and that kinda thing. But
Mhm. Are s are they still on track for weren't they planning for next year or the year after to deliver slate trucks?
so, funny enough, the end of next year might be really interesting for a bunch of startups. There's I'm not gonna say a likelihood, but there's a
Mhm.
chance, albeit maybe not the most likely scenario, but there's a chance that Aptera, Slate, and Tello all start delivering in the same quarter. At
Next we
least
need is Bollinger and, Lordstown to come back along with,
they'll come back
Fisker, and
along
we're
with the
gonna have
Badger.
a full
Yeah.
house. Yeah, where's that thing?
Basically. Oh,
Sitting in Utah.
man. Yeah. They took that video down, right?
Yeah, they did. It's not on the internet anymore. You
So
are
now
the
my reaction video is the only copy you can find.
well, I would hope someone else downloaded the video, but if not, then yes, you actually have sole ownership of, uh, or
Sole ownership.
maybe not sole ownership, but at least sole proof that the Badger
That that
still
video was
exists,
real.
and that
Yeah.
he who must not be named Voldemort apparently
Voldemort. Yeah.
is still at play here, in some regard.
Oh,
But anyways, that's gonna be interesting if
that
indeed
would be really
all 3 of
exciting
those
if it
startup
did happen.
companies all produce it. I doubt it though. Um,
High
not
likelihood of
saying that
delays hitting any of them.
I'm
I'm
the only way I'm affiliated with this company right here that you're wearing on your shirt and me wearing on my head is this podcast and me being friends with you and all that. Uh, but my personal
I'm
opinion as
comfortable.
an engineer, I usually am very, and this is engineering term, not political term, but engineering term, conservative. I'm very conservative with timelines and
Yes,
when things get done because of where I work as well. It's just things will not get done when you expect, even if
I
you're like,
agree.
this is a
Yeah.
2-week task. It's not gonna be a 2-week task. It
No.
might be a 2-day task, but then the paperwork's gonna take 2 weeks. So, okay,
Yep.
kind of 2 weeks. You're 2 days over, but wasn't 2 da wasn't 2 weeks exactly. But then other times, it stretches out for 2 months or even
Yeah.
a year because it ballooned into something else that you did not expect.
It's
So,
very true. You
when
don't know what you don't
Aptera,
know.
Slate exactly. When Aptera, Slate, and Tello are all saying 2026, at least for Aptera, nothing against them. Seems like boy cried wolf at times for next year, the car will be
Oh,
ready and
sure.
available next year, in which it's
Absolutely.
them trying to incite that excitement for production and actually get production going. And to be fair, they have started that production line, or at least some skeleton version of that production line in their
Mhm.
headquarters now over in
Yeah.
Carlsbad, or at least the big building in Carlsbad area. So,
Yep. That's it.
they are putting their words to the floor, or that's a weird way to put it. They're materializing their
Yes.
words, which is another weird way to put it. But yes, they're actually doing stuff.
I'm glad it's
Slate,
back. It's cool to have updates
yeah.
now from them again because they were so quiet for so long, but keep in mind
Well,
my
the way
wording.
that
I
they're
said all
yeah,
3 of these companies could launch in the same quarter. I didn't say which quarter. My point being, they could all be delayed a similar amount
I
of
can't wait
time,
for all these companies to have their product debut in 2028, Drew.
and then no, if they all get delayed, which I agree with you is very possible because there's unknown unknowns, and honestly, it's regardless of funding. Keep in
Mhm,
mind of Stellantis and their delays and Tesla and their delays. It's like there's no proof that like big companies don't have delays and small companies do. So I
right.
say that to clarify that yes, Slate has way more money than Aptera, but that doesn't necessarily mean one is going to be delayed and one's going to be on time. The truth is we just don't know because there's so many variables that go into
Yeah,
making such a
it's not black and
complex
white.
vehicle, but we could push all 3 of these startups could get pushed back a quarter or 2, and then they'll launch with the Scout simultaneously. We'll have Scout, Slate, Aptera, and Tello all within the same quarter, and then we'll have a very exciting year. It'll just be co
TASS. TASS. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
very exciting quarter of TASS.
I mean, I'm not saying, it definitely will happen, but that would be quite hilarious if all were launched within, like, the same month. Just
Did you
be
see so you brought up Scout. Uh,
we're doing
well,
this.
Forced Auto Reviews, because 'cause I'm talking about every single YouTube channel that does EV or just car content at this point.
Uh-huh.
Put that on your bingo card for how many things that
Yeah.
how many people I'm mentioning now. But,
Mhm.
was it Forced Auto Reviews got to review, the Scout EVs recently. I don't know
Yes,
if you caught
he
that
did.
video, but
Mhm.
he showed off some recent additions to the Scout that they wanted to debut,
Mhm.
and I guess 4-star reviews was a great way to communicate it all because he does shorts content, he does it pretty quick and snappy
He's
with
amazing.
pretty good
I've seen
cinematics.
him do
Yeah,
it.
he is.
It's incredible.
Mhm. And he showed off what looked to be like a toolbox in the back for the Scout, but it's open and it's tools that you didn't think can be combined together, like a big yardstick that is also the handle for a shovel,
Whoa.
which was interesting.
Okay.
Um,
Guess you could do
I didn't
that.
pay attention to the yeah, there's some other stuff in there I didn't pay attention to too much, but that was one big thing in that video that I'm like, "That's a really weird idea, very weird gimmick, but also I kinda want a yardstick that's also a shovel now." Of
Yep.
course, after so much time using it, it's gonna be very inaccurate yardstick at that point, but hey. Um,
Yeah,
and then the
true.
other thing that was interesting is, I don't know if Scout ever announced this or not, but Forrest said in this video that they're gonna have pet mode, which is something that me and my wife really love in the Tesla, and we wished
I think
everyone
all
else would
EVs should
adopt in
have
their
that.
vehicles.
Yeah, it's very
Should be
important.
built in.
It's just
Because
software,
all
it's
I
really
recall right now is it's just
special
Tesla and
hardware-wise.
Rivian that outright support it or at least marketed it. I don't recall if there's any legacy auto companies that are marketing it, and if so, please
Yeah.
correct me in the comments because I would be interested in looking at those companies further if they have a pet mode because we have pets. And or another adjacent thing is like just being able to actively cool the interior of the car whenever you need to, and it recognizing that there is a pet or someone in there. Maybe we want to leave grandma in the car. I don't know.
Yeah.
It would be
I was
nice
gonna
to
say,
be able to.
I think the legacy automakers have, like, climate keep, but they
Mhm,
definitely most of the time won't put, like, you know, "The animal's okay, this is the temperature on the screen," or let you, like, view the
mhm.
cabin camera. I'm trying to remember all the names. It's frustrating because Tella's gonna have a similar thing, so we're trying to decide what to
Okay.
call it, so I might end up having an influence there, but it was like Tesla has dog mode. I think
Mhm.
Rivian's is called pet mode, and then Lucid's is called
They have
creature
gear guard or
comfort.
whatever.
There's Gear
Lucid
Guard
has
Gary, but that's different
gear
from
guard.
pet
Yeah. Okay.
mode, and then Lucid has creature comfort. So, I don't know
Didn't know
why,
that
but
Lucid
every
did it, so
company
that's
has
news to
to
me.
they have to have a different name for each one.
That's
So
okay. I think I forget if Scouts has a specific name, but it just had a pet mode or whatever. But I thought what was interesting is that a QR code on the bottom left of the screen, and Forrest
oh.
highlighted that you can upload a picture of your own pet into it,
Oh, cute.
which I thought was
That'd be
very
nice.
personable and cute, which is something that I think Rivian would do because they're very much all about cutesy but adventurous, like very family friendly but fun and creative ways of doing things.
They're
So I'm
so good at
surprised
that.
that Scout kind of outthought them in that, and or it's just something that Rivian didn't want to explore because oh now we have to manage photos in here. They're custom. It has to be this size of a file, and maybe that's
Their
the big issue.
software team, really all these automotive software teams are so booked up. I'm sure they have a
Mhm.
1,000-item laundry list of features and things they wanna add, and it's probably just a constant battle of which ones should we prioritize and how quickly
Right.
can you roll those out? It's a huge, like, I don't think people appreciate it. Like, when software
No.
works, it works, and people just think, "Oh, yeah, it's software," but it's like, you don't understand how much time and money goes into really making reliable, consistent software that gets better over time. Like,
And when it
it's
doesn't work, it starts
oh.
crunching you.
Exactly. No, it's something that makes it very hard, at least right now, for me to switch away from a Tesla, which I really want to so bad. There's so many scenarios where I'm like, "Ah, I don't want this car, but I also love the software."
It's
It's,
so
like,
awful
really
that
hard
you
to
have
beat.
2 of them. Like, what happened? Suddenly
I
2
know.
just drop in your lap, and then, oh, I have to deal with
Wasn't
2
my
Teslas for
choice.
the rest of my life.
Wasn't up to me in the second one. It was I lost that argument. But man, oh,
Yeah, after
yeah,
today,
there's
my wife was saying, "So when's the R2 coming out?"
yeah. Hey, I'm totally on board with her on that. R2 looks sick.
I am
I
too, but
can't
the
believe I
issue
haven't seen
is
one.
eh, yeah, I would say so because, I mean, it figures that there should be a few roaming in California, but
They've literally said
whatever.
there's hundreds
Well,
in
yeah,
this area,
around.
so
What do you mean in
I'm
this area?
surprised. Well, let's just say I'm near where they said they are. I'll leave it at that.
All 100 of them?
Hundreds, they said, plural.
I thought it
So,
was like wasn't there a specific number that they put out? Like there's 400 or something like that? Or someone estimated?
uh,
I wanna say 400 rings a bell in my head or maybe 300, but maybe I'm grabbing that up somewhere
I
else.
don't remember that exact of a number, but still, I
Okay.
would love to see one. I will freak out when I see one the same way I freaked out when I saw my first Model Y all those years ago. But I'm excited
I don't even
for
remember you freaking
R2.
out that much.
I do. I got it on video. I think I still have it. I was just like, "That's a Y. That's a Y." No, I'm like, "I hate this car." But the software is great. I love the software. Such a split,
Not the original Model Ys. The original Model Y software is still pretty crunchy at this point.
I would say it's better than 80% of automotive software on the road today.
I don't know, for some of the cars that well, okay. It definitely beats the ID Buzz. The
I
ID
was gonna
Buzz
say,
is
you forget like, all the
very
legacy
crunchy.
automaker software is just ugh, it's
Hey, the
It's rough.
Volvos had pretty good software, both the EX30 and 90, pretty smooth. I had
It was
no
okay.
comments.
I would rather I would still rather remember, I have an Intel Model Y. I'm in the same gen as you. So I
Oh, poor
remember
you.
I know very well how it works,
Have
and
you
it's
had to
pretty dang
replace
good.
your hatch? Or have your tires dented?
No,
Or
but
your
that's all
steering wheel
hard.
destroyed?
Yes, I have had my tires dented. I think there's something wrong with the hatch, but I'm just living with it. I just don't care. That's the difference between you and me. Be the same thing with a Rivian. I'd be like, "Oh, that's
Well, mine
broken."
was in the first few months of ownership, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"No, this is starting to scratch up the paint on the inside. This needs to get serviced." And it was under warranty,
yeah.
so
No,
didn't have to pay anything for it.
there's no debate about the hardware performance. I'm talking about the software. Even in the old Ys, still way ahead of a lot of present day software, but
Mhm,
yeah, I think, R2 is gonna crush it. I'm looking at a picture of one right now just because 'cause I'm like, "Dang, Rivian knows how to make vehicles look good," you know? They
mhm.
just they're so good with their marketing and their branding. I'm so jealous. I'm like, they know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
doing,
I
but
stopped looking at the R2 because I was doing the same thing as you, what ifs and all that thought process. I'm like,
it's
"I'm
very
gonna wait till
expensive.
it's out. I'm gonna wait to see it on the road and hopefully see it at a supercharger or wherever else." And
That'd
then,
be cool.
even so, I'm not gonna go down that pathway until I'm really tired of this Model Y, which could be in
Wow.
a year, could be
I can't
in
believe you're not
whatever.
done with it already.
I'm pretty much done with it, but at the same time, it is special because 1, first new car, 2nd, first electric car, 3rd, early VIN, so it's very much a special time in Tesla's history of producing their affordable crossovers with lessons learned from the Model 3, and it's also it was just a I would be remiss to not acknowledge all the good feelings I had for it, and even my wife said, "Wasn't this your dream car?" And it was, but even if you
The
push
dream
away
turned
all
into a
the
nightmare.
well, with all the drama and everything around Tesla, you push that away at the end of the day, like what I described at the beginning or whatever of this podcast. There's been so many issues, I guess, in the last year. And then for the last 5 years, it's just been it hasn't been what I thought it was in terms of owning an EV, where I thought, "Okay, I don't have to worry about much besides maybe changing the tires a little bit more often than I usually do because it's heavier on the tires, it's wearing down the tires quicker, and it having amazing acceleration doesn't help it either with the tires."
Hmm.
But instead, it's got a laundry list of service items that I've been tending to, some of them optional, some of them not optional, um, and meanwhile, we have a year or 2 older model year truck that has, yeah, 20,000 miles less on the odometer, hasn't had a single issue, and that's where I'm sitting, like, not upset is the word, but just frustrated and, uh is that the word? I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Disappointed. Yeah.
I'm just
Right.
disappointed in the car and the experience because I thought it as with any new car that you get, you save up all this money, you have all this pent up excitement, you get it, you it's what you've been waiting for. But after 5 years, I wouldn't say it lived up to my expectations of what I was expecting from an EV, unfortunately. And what, of course, what I chose being an early VIN Model Y because I pushed for that and got
Mhm.
the opportunity, thankfully, to get it. And I've learned my lesson at this point, which is what I'm kind of taking away from it is like, hey, this is a great lesson of don't get the early ones because you're going to get all the wonderful issues at the beginning of that product launch. And even when you think you're done with them, they're still going to carry over later in its life because not much is changing on that vehicle, or you don't want to change much on that vehicle because once you start changing everything, things aren't going to synergize properly in the whole system. from a
Yeah.
hardware perspective, linkages and other stuff. Um,
Mhm.
so I've learned waiting and patience is a virtue, and wait until you see what the company is able to do and also what that product and its problems are, and make that decision at that point rather than immediately go for it because it is exciting. It is a very fun experience at the beginning. Isn't fun during the life of the car, even though it's only been 5
Mhm.
years with the Y. Hasn't been fun. It's been interesting. It's been entertaining, but it's also been frustrating.
Yeah. There's, um there's a lot of pros and cons to being early. I would say despite all of your frustrations, I'm glad you did because if you didn't, there's a chance we probably wouldn't have met.
It's not a
Sometimes it's
chance. We
those
probably just never would.
we never would have met, which meant I never would have been introduced to Tello and now wouldn't be working with these amazing people. So despite all of the suffering it put you through, there was a lot of good that came from you being an early an early
Yeah.
delivery, at least for me. So thanks for putting up with it all these years. Um, there's there's few vehicles that I feel like I need to be super early on.
Mhm,
R2 is probably not one of them. For one, I think it's probably wise of Rivian and smart for them to prioritize R1 owners. I think that's a really good idea that they've said they're gonna do is, like, if you already have a Rivian and an R2 reservation, you're gonna get moved up on the list. I'm like,
mhm,
"That makes sense. They're already within the Rivian ecosystem. It kind of encourages R1 ownership." Um,
mhm.
so neither of us are R1 owners, which means even if both of us wanted an R2 on day one, we probably wouldn't be even considered.
Well, my wife keeps
Um,
on pushing the idea of an R1S, and I'm saying, "That's great and
really?
all, but that's a
Good for
lot of
her.
vehicle."
It's, I want her to check out an EV9 personally.
Maybe we all get together when you and I and her find some time, whenever
We'll
that
see.
occurs.
We could schedule something, but I've seen a lot of people debating
How
about
free are
that.
you in about 12 months?
Probably better in 12 months than the next month, but a lot of people are cross shopping those 2, and often a lot of people end with the EV9 being the better, like, option,
Mhm,
just for, like, space efficiency. Obviously, the Rivian's better at off-roading, but I don't think that many Rivian owners are off-roading, especially with the
right.
service visits. We did a bunch of off-road shoots with the Tello not too
To
long
tell.
ago, and I gotta
Mhm.
tell you, like, it did great, it was fun, but it stresses you out when you've got a vehicle that it's not gonna be cheap to, like, fix body panel damage and stuff.
No.
You do not wanna take a Rivian's probably a fraction of the price of what it would cost for that prototype, but
Well, they're mass
still, like
producing them now compared to the prototype, yeah, but
but
even
still,
like
like,
you
you don't
said,
wanna take an 80 to $100,000 vehicle into rock crawling. Like,
no.
you're gonna bang that thing up, and then it's gonna be waiting for a service appointment for 3 months, like
We'll even think about things like Ford's Bronco, right?
Yeah,
Not even the sport one, but the actual
the
off-roady
actual Bronco.
Bronco.
Yeah.
The actual Bronco. Not to demean the sport one. I think the sport one deserves to there's an EV version, I think it was in China or Europe or wherever, like, it deserves to exist. No.
Yeah, I wish it
But
was
with the
here.
regular Bronco, even those start at, I think, like, high 30s or 40s or something like that.
That's
People still
better,
aren't
but
taking those on, off-road or on off-road.
no.
They're taking them off-road and all that, or they are not because it's the appearance that they're looking for, that boxy off-roady look, and the same thing with
Mhm.
Rivians as well. People want that boxy look and that off-roady look, but they're not going to ever the closest they'll take it is to a dirt road for a hike, and it's not even
Yeah.
gonna be, like, the most
There.
arduous dirt
I'm
road.
off-roading. I'm going to the trailhead.
"Hold on, guys, let's turn on the off-road mode because we're on dirt."
Basically, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's how
So
it
even,
is.
like
So I would
my point is,
say
like, even the Broncos, which are substantially maybe not substantially, but they are less costly than R1Ss and R1Ts. People still aren't taking those off-road. It's all appearances.
it is. It is,
But to
and I
take it
think
off-road
the
is a risk.
yeah, for sure, and I think if most people, when they're looking for three-row SUVs, are really looking for more just, like, practicality with cargo and comfortably sitting as many people as possible and all that, and I think there's a good chance the EV9 does that better and cheaper than the R1S does, but,
Mhm.
I understand the brand thing, aesthetically speaking. R1S wins 10 times out of 10
Mhm.
for me. Like, EV9 doesn't look bad, but the software is definitely nowhere near as cool as Rivian. Me personally, I would probably take an R1S before an EV9, but I don't know if that's
Well, from some articles and reviews that have been made about the 2nd gen R1S and the 1st gen R1S and all that, it's not sunshines and rainbows. There's a lot to manage with that amount of vehicle. And then
Mhm.
that's, of course, because I've got the battle scars right now and currently healing scars or whatever of the Model Y going into service. Um, I think about with what we've heard on Rivian side of things or Rivian customer side of things with issues with Rivian service. I think about, okay, with the EV9, Kia's been a company for a while now. I've heard
Oh,
things
yeah.
that are a little bit iffy on the Hyundai side of things, but with Kia, I haven't done that much research. So a it is something that I need to look into if I were to go with that. I'm not actively looking for
Yeah.
any vehicles. Like I've said previously, we are content with the Model Y and the truck to accomplish everything that we have
Mhm.
right now. The truck's there for hauling and towing, the Y is there for commuting, and sometimes hauling stuff from Home Depot if the truck's not available. And it does fine.
It's almost like, like any engineering exercise, there's a bunch of, like, trade-offs to anything you emphasize or focus on, and I think particularly with the startups, for multitudes of reasons, like Tesla, Rivian, they put a lot more emphasis on the software experience, and that takes a lot of time and money and development, and the legacy automakers probably have more money and time that goes into the hardware, like the build quality and the reliability of the doors and latches and how things age, but they definitely
Mhm.
don't put the same emphasis in the software, which seems to be the biggest complaint anytime I watch an EV9 review is like, this mobile app sucks and the key sucks and it doesn't do it doesn't have the pet mode you're talking about and that kind of thing. So there's little things like that where it's like, okay, hopefully that gets better over time because hardware doesn't really get better over time, but the software does. So again, it's a trade-off, and the hope is long term we can get to a point where you're making as little trade-offs as possible and you can have great hardware and great software. That would be fun. But yeah, it's
Mhm.
especially when you're a young company, you're trailblazing. You're finding all kinds of new problems and new techniques all the time. So
Right.
yeah, I think there's trade-offs no matter which one you go. I don't think there's a bad choice between those two. The Hummer is the bad choice. But
Dang it.
I
Well,
s
Drew, I'm sorry to say, I met a guy, he was very interested in Hummer content, and he asked me, "Hey, do you wanna buy a Hummer so that we can make content together?"
Hummer
And I had to say
content.
yes. We're gonna be tossing it off a
Oh.
cliff tomorrow. Um,
Oh gosh, that'll be like an H bomb going off. H for Hummer. That battery's gonna burn for days. My
cue the,
goodness.
there's a commercial that Hummer did where, it was,
Falling out of the sky.
falling out of the
And it
sky and
lands
landed on
just
the
at full
ground.
speed.
I think I
I
edited the GIF where
laughed
I
I
pretty much
laughed so
stopped it right
hard.
there when it crushes into the ground and just smoke. I just stopped it right there. It's like, great.
Such a good ad. Just, like, lands at full speed.
Right.
Oh,
No,
it's
I think the next
beautiful.
thing I'm focusing on right now is good service records from that company and or my local area, like good service centers. So that way, if anything
Mhm.
goes wrong, I don't have the same experience that I've had with wherever I go for Tesla. Whether it's North Bay, South Bay, Central Bay, out of the Bay, wherever I go, having issues with Tesla service has been a constant. So something with whether it is GM or Hyundai Kia or Rivian or whoever else
Mhm.
that is in my considerations. Um, Serviceability and just quality of components and service is something
Sure.
I'm looking for. The next thing is range and or just daily drivability, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I was in the last podcast we talked in and the one before that on this channel. Um, why I'm so excited about the Chevy Bolt, and I'm gonna keep on being excited about it because it is a LFP pack that goes 200 and was it 55, 52, whatever miles
Mhm.
of
Yeah,
range, and that's 0 to 100, and you can charge it to 100 because it's an LFP pack,
that
and
is
it's got
awesome.
decent space
Yeah.
because it's bigger than the Bolts of the past, but maybe a little bit smaller or maybe on par with the EUV that came out a couple years ago. So
Mhm.
that's just something I'm excited about, but you get that benefit of 255 miles of range because it is sort of compact. It's not as big as a Model Y, but it's not as small as like a smart car or the original Chevy Bolt. It's
No,
somewhere
no,
in the
it's not
middle.
that small. It's
That's
not
where the trade-off is that you decrease the size and you decrease the utility, or at least the space inside that you can use for whatever you need to use. So things will get crunched up when you start shoving a whole bunch of stuff in there, whether it's ice chests or hardware from Home Depot or whatever I've got going on. Um, but
but
you do
the
get
price,
255
you
miles of
can't get
range.
mad. Yeah, at that
Yeah,
price, it's hard to
you could
beat.
get either at pretty much the same price, or at least whether it's the LT or the RS or whatever it is.
Yeah, they have a RS Bolt now, that's right.
Yeah, in
I
which the
will
only
say
difference is that I want to highlight is aesthetic. You don't get
mhm,
more range. You don't get more performance. It's all
there might be
aesthetic,
some
which
interior feature differences, I think. I think one has
maybe
Super
ambient
Cruise.
lighting.
I
No,
think
I think
one
both have Super Cruise. I looked at the website
okay,
and it didn't
I
list
could be
Super
wrong.
Cruise as a RS only feature. It
Okay,
said here are the RS things and they all were aesthetic, which
interesting.
I mean, I can look at it right now, but I was blatantly
I believe you.
surprised and happy about that because no one really does that anymore, where it's just like it's it's the Model T approach. You can have any
Yeah.
color you want as long as it's black. Like there's no big differences between each model or trim. It's just here's the product.
Mhm.
What I guess in this case it is you can change the color, but
That's it,
anyways,
yeah.
this is me fawning over the Bolt again, even though it's totally different from the R1S, R2, or a Kia EV9 or anything like that. It's it's range that's usable, where that's something that I've
Mhm,
also lost the Y is that I'm probably at or worse than the usable range or the full range in a new Chevy Bolt, which is
mhm.
kind of
I
sad.
think you're right. Yeah, it is. It's got that
Well,
degradation, but
you take a was it a 20% hit because I'm only charging from 20% to 80% all the time. I'm never
mhm.
really going down to 10 or going up to 100 that often.
Yep.
And then on top of that, there's another, I think, 20% degradation in
Mhm,
the battery right now because of just 5 years of usage.
mhm.
'Cause it only charges up to about 2 I sent it to you guys a while back. I think it was like 270 or
Right.
265 or whatever.
Yep.
So I'm definitely below 250 of
Oh, easily, for
my
sure,
daily range.
for sure. You know, the Bolt's probably a vehicle I wouldn't mind owning on day 1, being like an early delivery. I just don't have that
You
same
kinda
vibe.
have to with them saying it's a limited time offer.
Yeah, you gotta jump on it. Although, I'm trying to think of an exception to the rule. One vehicle that I really wouldn't care to be an early delivery for
Mhm.
is I mean, I wouldn't care, if it is an early delivery. Like, I want one as soon as possible, like, I don't mind if there's issues or something, would be an Aptera. Just because it's been
Mhm.
so long, and I feel like the ethos of the design and everything speaks to me personally so
It's
much. I
timeless.
just it is, yeah, the design is timeless, and it feels like it's been so long, And I know everyone's upset how long it's taken. Aptera's upset too, by the way. Everyone's upset by how long it's taken. It's not like
It's
anyone's
not just the
happy
people
about this.
outside, it's the people inside as well.
I bet
I
you the
give them
people
flack,
inside
but to be
are
fair,
even
we're all frustrated.
yeah, I bet the people inside the company are way more frustrated than the people outside, to be honest. Um,
Mhm.
but even so, just like if I made a car myself, if I was designing a car myself, that they are the closest to what I would design, essentially. Just like the
Yeah.
ultra efficient harnessing power from the sun. And I love the way that like basically no other car is doing that. And even with some build quality or software things that aren't quite finalized, I wouldn't care just because I have a personal attachment to the product and the brand, and like I've driven the prototypes, and that's made me experience them firsthand and go like, yes, this is what I want. Like I'm ready for a road trip right now. And especially just the layout of the interior. Like I thought the visibility was great, and I loved the cameras behind the yoke. I was like, that's way more convenient than having the blind spot cameras like cover up things on my
Mhm.
central display. I'm sick of that. It happens all the time. And I hate when like the car will turn off the blinker when I still need the camera feed up, and I didn't have
Right.
that when I drove in the Aptera. So like even
It's a smart
besides
idea
the
to make a driver display purely just side view mirror feeds.
yeah, no, I think it was really smart, and I experienced it and went, "Wow, this makes like way more sense." And I wish I could have that in my current car. So that's something that I'm willing to pull a few strings if it means I can find a way to somehow get one early. I know some of the accelerators that are very, very early
Mhm.
on the list, and I might be able to convince them to like you don't want an early VIN, yeah, you want to wait till it's more built
My
out.
co-host here has had awful time with his Model Y. Do you wanna be like that? You
Yeah, just
probably
wait.
don't. It's okay.
Just get one later down the road, and sell your early VIN to me. Like that's a vehicle I wouldn't mind having an early VIN, even if there's some problems and things that aren't done yet. Um, I would just
Mm,
love to have one. As soon as possible. I'd use the crap out of it these days with the amount of driving I'm doing. Oh, that would be sick.
yeah, I don't know about that. I think at this point, I value because I'm not even though I am an engineer, I'm not really one who tinkers around an engine block all the time. I'm not that savvy on the mechanic side of
No,
things.
I'm not saying everyone should. I don't think you should.
No.
I'm just
I
speaking for
think
me
if they're gonna
personally.
actually put the words to the book, to the guide for the user,
Yeah.
then okay, I'm okay with that. Like, give me a guide on how to fix my vehicle. Okay.
They said they would. That was the plan
Yeah,
from
in
what I
which I
understand.
remember
Yeah.
early marketing being like that, and if they stay true to their word, then
Hope so.
okay, call me more interested because if you give me a guide on how to fix the vehicle or address a problem that is a hardware issue or maybe a
Mhm.
software issue that requires some technology or some software that you can download off of their site or whatever, that's great. I'm totally down for that. But if it's going to be what I've been dealing with, where it's all hands off, I don't get to choose things. Like when I was driving, I was late to that service appointment by 7 minutes or 10 minutes because the the Google Maps routing neglected to pick up on there being a whole boatload of traffic on this road because of construction that was starting up, and it just didn't detect it at all. And so it said, "No, it's fine. This is the fastest route," and then added an extra 7 minutes where I could have taken some side roads that have a lot more uh, stoplights, but I
Mhm.
probably would have gotten there a little bit sooner if I took that route
Yep.
rather than being in the Congo line that was reducing everything down to one lane.
I've had that experience too, where the navigation lately has actually been getting confused a lot, and the GPS stops working, and it'll like put the compass arrow in the wrong place. And it's like, I'm
Weird.
not flying over buildings right now. And we will often like roughly once a day now have to pull out our phones and use Apple Maps as like a backup because it's like, okay, this isn't working. It needs to reset
Mhm.
again. And I'm like, if it just had CarPlay, this wouldn't be a problem. We could just fall back on the faster, more up to date, cheaper to
Is it supposed to
upgrade.
be getting CarPlay? Wasn't that a recent news story that Tesla was entertaining CarPlay?
Yeah, that's possible, but we don't know how backwards it's going to go. Like it might just be AMD cars, or it might require brand new
Y
cars. They'll come up with
your
some reason, but
LFP3 is fine then.
I don't know. We'll see. But like Aptera wants to have that day one, so that's something
Mhm,
that just like if there was a vehicle that could perfectly reflect my personality, that would be it. So I would just feel like at one with the car. So that's when I'm like, I don't care if it's early VIN. I want one in ASAP. So I will
mhm.
I will negotiate with an accelerator if I have to.
I'm okay with early if they give me a manual on how to fix it. If they don't give me a manual on how to fix it, and they pretty much say, "Hey, void your warranty and void everything if you touch anything that's underneath this panel," then it's tough to say, "Yes, I'll stick with you," because that's what I'm living with right now. And granted, I don't have the basic warranty anymore. I've got the battery warranty and then whatever the other one is,
All right.
motor warranty or something like that. I
I'm almost
forget.
out of that too.
Jeez. It's a lot
Oh,
driving,
wow.
man.
Yeah. That's why I
But
like EVs. I like driving.
drive a bunch, save a bunch of
Mhm.
money, and cut down emissions. Uh, to get back to the Bolt, pretty much what I just wanted to put this on the record. The RS says includes every LT feature plus a unique front grille and badging, gloss black roof rails, 17-inch black
Ooh,
wheels,
gloss black, huh?
black Evotex seating with red stitching, so just stuff changing with the seat,
What's
and then
Evotech?
multicolor ambient lighting. Evotex, it's probably just a different version of leather that isn't leather, pleather, whatever you want to call it, vegan leather. But yeah,
Okay.
also ambient lighting. So that's the add-on is ambient lighting and a different seat, and then some other stuff. I want more of that. I want more of that. Hey, like you get the same thing for all of them. It's just what color do you want it in, and that's pretty much it. Because that's all I'm really looking for is something that does stand out a little bit more in terms of looks. Not saying that I like being the special one on the road. It's just I see too
I
much
do.
gray. I see too much gray, blacks and whites and all that. I
Yes,
want more color on the road. Give me the reds, give me the yellows, give me whatever else. Something that's interesting to look on the road because that's maybe the only reason why I like Cybertrucks these days is because you see so many different decals on it, whether it is for a business or it's just someone being silly with a Master Chief Warthog looking thing. At least
sure.
it's different. And that's
There's a lot
what
of
I
different
want to
ones,
see
yeah.
more of because you could cookie cutter everything like you see in the Bay Area with a whole bunch of white Model 3s that any one of them could have stolen from the Louvre.
Or
But
Midnight Silver Model Ys,
I
just
know those guys
thousands
suck.
of them.
I hate them. But
I'm the same way
adding a
with the
bit,
Aptera. I just feel like everywhere you go, people are like, "What the heck is that? And why does it look like that?" And then you get to explain aero, efficiency, range, solar.
mhm.
It's all educational answers, whereas with the Cybertruck, it's like, "So why did you vote for him?" I'm like, "I don't wanna go there. I don't let's not talk about that."
Oh, that boy got his pay package and everything, didn't he?
Well, he's technically got nothing yet, but personally, I think the milestones
He's
are
got
not
everything.
gonna happen, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
anyways, any final thoughts, Mr. Drew, on this wonderful night of talking about defunct EVs coming back, both mine and the old GM one, and the new GM ones?
I feel like the Aptera is almost like the modern EV1. It's like the
Is
two-door
it?
super aero. The EV1 was really efficient for the time. I think it was the most
I don't think
efficient
anyone's beat it,
vehicle.
right? It was like a
Well,
.13 or something like that.
oh, the coefficient of drag, yeah, it was crazy low, but no, the Aptera is 0.13. I think the EV1 is higher, but for the time, it was like the most efficient vehicle ever made, and that is what the Aptera would be, and I would drive a very incomplete one, just so everyone's aware. I would drive the Hermes track one if they'd let me. Just the one without anything finished on the inside. I loved driving that
Yeah.
thing around. It was peppy and cool, and I like when everybody's waving at you and stuff. Like, I don't mind the attention, I just want it to be because there's a good follow-up, not because there's a political conversation waiting to happen. I don't want that.
So you like to be the starting act for the main event then?
Yeah, 'cause I've been to Aptera events and talked to people about it many times, and it's always fun to get people's reaction, and they start figuring out, "Oh, that's why it's that way," and it's always so, like, insightful and fun to watch people learn more in the process. It's like a
Mhm.
rolling educational tool in a way. It's like kinda sells itself. It's
So was the
fun.
EV1,
Yeah, that's right.
and it only rolled because they took out all the wiring and batteries and whatever else to make it not
Yeah,
work. So they
that's
could
it.
only roll it.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you all for listening. We'll catch you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.